citation. All right, so if you all will watch the monitors and listen to my instructions, and then we're going to get you all back to your lives. Here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker, I'm your judge, and this is the ticket arraignment calendar. I want to start out by saying here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each and every one of you, as we interact with you, deserve the respect and dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We will extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. All right, COVID-19. Instead of rules and regulations, what we've done with COVID-19 is simply come up with a philosophy, and here it is. It is very important to us, the state court team up here, that you feel personally safe. It's as simple as that. So what does that look like in practice? Well, if you want to wear a mask, please wear a mask. If you wish you brought a mask and you forgot one, ask us. We will get one for you. If you do not feel comfortable in the crowd and you wish you had additional social distancing, let us know. Whatever it is that we can do to assist you so that you feel safe, we're happy to do it. Whatever it is that you need, speak with the bailiffs, and they will do everything they can to assist you. All right, hey, don't talk during court. So we are trying to get you all back to your lives as quick as we can. I assume we're all in agreement that that is an admirable goal. I cannot do that if you all are having sidebar conversations, so don't do it. You will find very quickly that I have no patience for it. Virtual people, which I have, looks like 3 or 4. Go get a pen and a piece of paper to write down information about your case, listen for my directions, and wait, and go ahead and turn off your cameras while you're waiting. All right, number 1 disruptor in this courtroom, cell phones. Everybody, right now, because earlier I asked you to turn them on and download information. Everybody check your phones right now and turn them off, because at this point forward, I'm going to be trying to move quick, and I can't do it if your phones are pinging and dinging and chirping. And so everybody take a moment and turn it off. Perfect. There's a lot of movement out in the crowd. I appreciate all of y'all stopping to do that. Okay, this is the correct courtroom for you if you are issued a citation here in Spalding County, forbidden by a Georgia State Patrol Chief. That citation directed you to appear today. If what I'm saying does not sound correct, we've already sent several folks out into the hallway. Step out in the hallway, show the bailiffs your paperwork, and they will get you in the right direction. Today is what's called your arraignment day. I'm going to go over your rights with you. I'm going to tell you what your options are, and then you or your attorney is going to tell me what to do with your case. You may have a trial, and there are 2 types of trials. There's a jury trial where 6 jurors issue a verdict from that box over there to your left, and then there's a bench trial where I issue the verdict without a jury. You may have a conference with the solicitor's office. That's this group up here to your left. They represent the state of Georgia. They are not your attorney. You can ask me about an attorney, and I will give you specific instructions as to what to do to take care of that. Your charges in this courtroom are misdemeanors. The average misdemeanor carries a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. Now, a few minor traffic charges like seatbelts have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. Now, each of you here have the right to a speedy and public jury trial, where 6 citizens of Spalding County decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. You can also choose a bench trial. Again, that's where I make the guilt or innocence decision without a jury. You may have a trial. You can waive your right to a trial and close your case with a plea. Now, I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. Now, each of you here have the right to be presumed innocent, to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, to cross-examine the state's witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court. You have the right to testify or not testify. You have the right not to incriminate yourself. And if you choose to remain silent, your silence cannot be held against you. You have the right to an attorney. You may hire your own attorney if you so choose, and there's private attorneys here you can talk to today. You can also, if you can't afford an attorney though, you may apply today with the Public Defender's Office. Now, this is your warning though. If you do not apply ASAP for the Public Defender's Office, you will very likely hear me say at your next court date that you have waived the right to apply. So this is something where you got to use it or you're going to lose it. All right. An attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system. Explain what the charges are and the defenses are to those charges. You'd file motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial on your behalf and make objections, protect the record and appeal a conviction, and otherwise work to protect you. All right, first offender and conditional discharge. So these each allow you to enter a plea without being convicted, but you only get one of each for your entire life. Now, first offender is for everything but traffic-related charges, so no DUIs. Conditional discharge is for drug-related charges only. All right, nolo contendere. So this applies to most all of you here today. A nolo plea is where you enter a guilty plea without admitting guilt, and it is available on most all traffic charges. You get one nolo every 5 years, and that is measured from the incident date to the incident date, ticket date to ticket date. A nolo will usually prevent points. It'll usually save your license. It won't help you much if you're under 21. I'm so sorry. I gotta call somebody out and I hate it. And the tan jacket in the back row, I haven't seen you look up in about 6 slides. So I'm sure you're paying attention. I'm certain that you are. But when you're not looking up at this PowerPoint, that I worked really hard to create the most boring and informative PowerPoint in the history of the world, I really do need you to be looking at it while I'm going over it. Again, I'm sure you're paying attention, but when you don't look up at all, it gives me the impression that you're not paying attention. All right, habeas corpus. So habeas corpus is also known as, we call this habeas for short. It works like this. It's a weird old law. If you're convicted, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge your conviction. Now, all traffic charges, which is most all of you, have a 6-month window from the date of conviction to use those habeas rights if you're convicted. Everything else, say a couple of you have marijuana charges, those have 12 months. So if it's driving, 6 months, not driving, 12 months in this courtroom. If you are here today and you are not a U.S. citizen, you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. All right, you may conference today with the solicitor's office, and if that's what you would like to do, you'll announce conference when your name is called. Now, you'll remain here in the courtroom. The solicitor's office will call you back to their office to have the conference. If you have an attorney here, they'll very likely announce conference or think they've already had one on your behalf. Now, the solicitor's office, again, that's this group up here, they represent the state of Georgia. They're not your attorney. If you reach an agreement, you can resolve your case today. If you don't reach an agreement, no problem. You simply tell the solicitor's office or one of the court's bailiffs that you want a trial. We'll happily move you in that direction. All right. If you want to close your payable tickets without a trial, several of you have already had that opportunity before court started this morning. Then if you miss that chance and you still want to explore it, you can ask for a conference. And at that conference, you'll be given the opportunity, if this is appropriate for your case, to pay your fine amount. And if you have the money, pay it in full. If you don't have the fine amount, but you still want to enter a guilty plea or a nolo plea, then you may do that, and you'll very likely be placed on probation, which is what we call terminate upon completion. And then lastly, we have a new program that we rolled out in January. It's been working really well, which is if you don't wish to be placed on probation and you don't have the fine amount, so the middle of the two, then you may participate in our 15 by 20 program, which we have borrowed from the City of Griffin Municipal Court. So what is the 15 by 20 program? Well, if you don't have the fine amount and you don't want to go on probation, you enter the plea like normal, but you have 15 days from the date of the plea to, and your probation sentence is delayed by 15 days to allow you an opportunity to pay your fine in full. You will also pay a $20 program fee to participate in the 15 by 20 program. Once you've paid your fine in full within 15 days and your $20 participation fee, then your case closes without probation. And so that program's been very successful. We've been very proud of it. The only way you can participate in that is ask for a conference and talk about it with the solicitor's office. If you're unsuccessful in getting your case paid within 15 days, no problem. Your probation just automatically starts according to the terms that I gave you at your plea. All right, if you do receive straight probation today, then you need to know that 100% of all fines in the Spalding County State Court can be worked off with community service work at $10 per hour. Additionally, there is a $50 per month supervision fee each month until you complete your probation. The $50 supervision fee is mandatory, but it can be waived after a separate hearing before me. All right. If you announce that you want a jury trial or a bench trial today, what you're telling me is that for today, you don't want a conference. You're going to exit the courtroom. I'm going to have you wait out in the hallway for the bailiff. They're going to come and have you sign a reset notice. That reset notice will give you your next court date, and you will take a copy of it with you when you leave. Everybody here today will leave this courthouse with paperwork in hand telling you what you've done or what you need to do next. If you want to use the stairs that are right outside these doors right here, feel free. Just exit on one. Ground floor is emergencies only. All right, your next court date looks like this if you need it. Everybody goes on the same 2-week trial calendar. Your calendar call will be in week 1, and we will assign you a specific date and time to come back for your calendar call. Then you all will skip a week. We will handle some other court, and then the jury trials and bench trials begin the Monday of week 2 for you all. You will appear each and every day until your case is resolved. We will run 2 courtrooms in week 2, maybe even 3, and we will absolutely reach your case for trial. All right, we are still a smaller community, so bench warrants will be issued for the defendants who failed to appear in court. If you know somebody who is missing, call them, tell them to get down here ASAP. You'll very likely save them a great deal of future trouble, as well as potentially saving them a trip to the jail. All right. We're about to call the calendar. Mr. Parker is actually going to be the one calling the names. When you hear your name called, stand up. That tells me who I'm talking to. I can't figure out who I'm talking to out in the crowd if you're not standing up. If you have an attorney, remain silent. Let your attorney announce for you. Otherwise, when you stand up, you're going to do one of the following very loudly, much louder than you think you need to. You're going to stand up and you're going to either say jury trial, or you're going to say bench trial, or conference, or attorney. And then once you've made that announcement, I'll either wait for you to sit down or go out in the hallway as we go. Okay, Mr. Parker, floor is yours. And I do have, I'm going to unlock this virtual system. I do have one attorney present, Partridge. Hopefully they'll keep quiet, otherwise I'll have to lock it back down again.
Robert Adams.
Conference. Thank you, Mr. Adams.
Linda Allowine. Failure to appear. Kayla Alford.
Bench trial.
Bench trial. Ms. Alford, are you going to want to talk to the public defender's office?
Yes, sir.
You are? Okay. If you all will please step out into the hallway. Do not leave until the bailiffs come and give you your next set of instructions, which will include walking directions to go to the public defender's office, which you're going to do straight from here after talking to the bailiffs.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Please wait in the hallway for the bailiffs.
Austin Anderson. Failure to appear. Ernest Arrington. An accident involved, stating this for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Rafael Avias Gilhuli.
He's in jail.
All right. Good. All right.
Bianca Bailey. Failure to appear. Jose Ballesteros.
Conference. Thank you.
Rolf Barker. Failure to appear. Nicholas Barkley.
I'm sorry, y'all. I wanted to try to get I'm hiring my own attorney
Yes.
to try to get an extension.
That's reasonable. So the question was, what if you don't want the public defender's office? What if you want to hire your own attorney? Somebody else may have that question, so that's a good question. The answer is, I'm gonna reset you, and I'm gonna ask you, are you waiving your right to apply with the public defender's office? Because that's where I would normally send you, is to the public defender's office. So do you want to apply with them, or do you want to waive the right to apply with them?
Well,
You got it?
because I'm in the process, I have one I'm narrowing it down to, so I might not.
I can tell you that moving your case from the public defender's office to a private attorney is as easy as going through a drive-through. It's just a very easy process. They're very familiar with it. So does that help you answer your question?
Because I want somebody to explain how.
Sure.
So I can understand what I'm saying.
That's fine. So the answer I have to have is, do you want to apply with the public defender's office or not? No. Okay, so I'm gonna put that you're waiving the public defender's office. Otherwise, the same rules apply. So if you'll come on across, step out into the hallway, wait for the bailiffs. They're still gonna give you the public defender's address, telephone number, and all that, because that's their job. And I'm gonna put here that you waived it. All right, thank you, Mr. Barker. And that was a reasonable question. Somebody else may have that as well. All right, Mr. Barker.
That was Mr. Barkley, sir.
That was, I had that as Nicholas Barker. Is that right? Did I mess it up?
He said a lot, I forgot.
Yes.
Keisha Barlow,
Conference, thank you, Ms. Barker.
Savario Benson. Statements or bench warrant.
Granted.
Nazir Berry,
Jury?
All right, Mr. Berry, you want to go apply with the public defender's office?
No.
No? Are you waiving the right to apply? Okay. Those are two different, those are.
Yes.
Yes, okay. You're waiving the right to apply with the public defender's office, correct?
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much. Step out into the hallway, wait for the bailiffs. Do not leave until they give you the next set of instructions.
Shamiko Biles,
Conference.
Thank you.
Law or Lay Bennix,
Sir?
All right. Thank you very much. Are you going to apply with the public defender's office?
Yes.
All right. If you'll wait out in the hallway for the bailiffs, they'll come out and give you your next set of instructions.
Terrence Michael Burning,
Conference?
Thank you, Mr. Brady.
Aheen Butler,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Butler, you want to apply with the public defender's office?
Yes, sir.
Have you gotten your license reinstated?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you will wait out in the hallway, do not leave until the bailiffs give you your next set of instructions.
Keisha Carter,
Bench.
All right. You want to apply with the public defender's office?
No, I have one.
All right. You're waiving the right to apply?
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much. You may wait in the hallway. Do not leave until the bailiffs come talk to you.
Judge, now if I go ahead and grab it.
That'd be great. We're very good at doing multiple things at once. Mr. Shepard is going to grab the first round of conferences. Mr. Shepard, the floor is yours.
Yeah, if you call me.
All right, if the names that I call, if you'll go out, East Double
Okay. Mr. Parker, the floor is yours.
Darius Cobb, failure to appear. Raymond Collette, failure to appear. Ian Corbin,
Conference, thank you.
Granisha Daniel, statements or bench warrant.
Granted.
Karen Daniel, failure to appear. Warren Davis,
Karen Daniel was in this cell, sorry.
Do what?
Karen Daniel, that's, okay, we started this this morning.
Hey. You said hey.
They reset it.
Reset. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Reset. Thank you. Yeah, they have a quieter fan. Go ahead.
Warren Davis. Statements for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Emma Dietz. Failure to appear. Elijah.
How do you say your last name? Denham? Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry, Judge, it's handwritten.
Oh, no, I can see it was handwritten from here.
Officer should have been a doctor. Shamar Drain. Failure to appear. Here. Law or Lay Dura. Failure to appear. Chelsea Evans.
Conference, thank you. Bless you, whoever she's.
Tyrese Sinister.
Conference, thank you, Mr. Minister.
Janikia Frazier. Failure to appear. Anthony Frederick. Failure to appear. Charles Furlow. Statements for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Demetrius Haynes. Statements for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Kyrie Hamer. Failure to appear. Corey Hand. Failure to appear. Felicia Harper. Failure to appear. Kaylin Harris. That involves an accident. Statements for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Jordan Harrison.
Conference, thank you.
James Heath. Failure to appear. AJ Henderson. Failure to appear. Lauren Hera or Haraj.
Conference, thank you.
Sean Henson.
President, will you conference?
Conference, thank you, Mr. Henson.
Jason Howard. Statements for bench warrant.
Granted.
Deontia Jackson. State would ask for a bench warrant due to the speed.
Granted.
Gail Jackson.
She is virtual, and then we'll come back to her. You can just come back. Oh, there, I got it. Okay, she got it connected. Ms. Jackson, what is a good phone number for us to reach you?
954-330-2782.
Can you give me the last four digits again?
Yes, 2782.
All right, you gave me 954-330-2782. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
What would you like to do with your case?
A bench trial.
All right, Ms. Jackson, I'm going to have you mute yourself. Sit tight. I'll come back to you in just a bit
Okay.
and give you your next set of instructions.
Okay.
Thank you.
LaWanda Johnson. Failure to appear. Octavius Johnson.
Hey.
Hey.
Thank you. Rory Jones.
Conference?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Janae Jones Goolsby. Failure to appear. Cameron Kendrick.
Conference.
Thank you.
Kenneth Lackey.
That's actually Virgil Brown's office. There's a waiver. Okay.
Danielle Lawson.
Conference, thank you.
Is that two? Is this a separate case?
Oh, yeah.
Looks like
Ms. Lawson, looks like you may have been pulled over two separate times. Is that correct? Two separate cases? Probably. Okay. Yes, that's the same person.
Okay. Robert Lee,
Conference, thank you.
Virgil Lewis. State moves for a bench warrant due to the excessive speed.
Granted.
Jeremiah Lyons. Failure to appear. Roderick Mangum.
Paid? Oh, not paid.
Sorry.
They were having another conversation that I was eavesdropping on.
Roderick Mangum involved in an accident. State moves for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Hakeem Mathis. Failure to appear. Lamons McLeod. Failure to appear. Christy Michael. Failure to appear. Brandon Miller. Failure to appear. Keisha Miller. Failure to appear. Dietrich Moffett Duma. State moves for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Lenora Murray. It's an accident. The state moves for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Gwen Nishizaki.
Conference.
Conference, thank you.
Nicholas Norton.
Conference, thank you.
Elizabeth Osborne. Failure to appear. Charleston Parker. Failure to appear. Imani Parrish. Failure to appear. Renika Ponder. Failure to appear. William Pratt.
Conference, thank you.
Johnny Rayborn.
Conference, thank you.
Brandy Respris. Failure to appear. Jerry Rushing Jr. State moves for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Andrea Sanchez. Failure to appear. Kimberly Sanders. Failure to appear. Roderick Scott.
Conference, thank you.
Deborah Say.
Thank you.
Wyman Sherman.
Waiver.
There's a waiver.
Calvin,
Morgan.
Calvin Smith. Failure to appear. Dontrell Smith.
Conference, Your Honor.
Conference, thank you.
Samvithia Smith.
Bench warrant.
Bench truck. Do you want to talk to the public defender's office?
No.
All right, are you waiving the right to apply?
Yes.
All right. You may step out into the hallway, ma'am, and wait for the bailiffs to come give you your next set of instructions.
Ahmad Stewart. State moves for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Lenore Tay, or Ta.
Conference.
All right, thank you.
Margaret Taylor.
Conference.
Sakina Tisby.
Bench trial.
All right, Ms. Tisby, are you want to talk to the public defender's office? Are you waiving the right to apply? All right, thank you very much. You may wait out in the hallway. Don't leave until the bailiffs give you your next set of instructions.
Thank you.
Bridget Trice. Failure to appear. Christopher Trowbridge. Statements for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Eva Tuthill. Failure to appear. Marbella Vega. Statements for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Sarah Walker. Statements for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Shelby Walker. Statements for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Lakeisha Washington. Statements for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Ramon Waters. Statements for a bench warrant.
Granted.
He's asking for results. An uptick in that later. Najai White. Doesn't appear. Darian Williams. Statements for a bench warrant.
Granted.
Quintoria Williamson.
Conference, please.
All right, thank you. Conference bids.
Misty Wilson.
Conference.
Conference. Thank you, Ms. Wilson.
Paul Wilson. Failure to appear. Tamika Witcher.
Conference, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Conference.
Roderick Worthy. Failure to appear. DeMarcus Wright.
Conference. Thank you.
That's all for this morning's staff, Judge.
All right, let me see what attorney, hands down, this is not my first court date. Hands down. All right. Attorney Partridge, are you there?
Hey, good morning. I have Joshua Davis, who was given notice for today.
Okay, it lists you as attorney Durante Partridge.
That's
But you're
correct.
not- Okay, but you're Joshua Davis?
Well, no, my client is there in person.
Oh, got it. Okay, because I was looking for your name on my calendar, I didn't see it. So, all right, Davis. Yeah, let me grab that case number, just a second. Do you have it handy by any chance?
I do. It is 22 TK 3890.
All right, and are you wanting a conference or what are you wanting to do?
I guess for today's purposes, I'm on trial in Fulton County. So
Okay.
I'd like to schedule it maybe for a jury trial, but I'm sure we'll be able to work it out short. Is there a day that is best to follow up with you so that we may speak through it?
Yeah, give me about 3 minutes and I'm gonna actually give you the dates for your jury trial reset. So, so hold that thought. I'm gonna give you that before we part ways.
Okay.
Oh, you're
Turn
fine.
back to Raymond and set it down for, May 23rd.
May 23rd. So your calendar call is May 23rd. You haven't emailed this, but I'm gonna tell it to you anyway. And then your, the actual, so that's calendar call, and then trial week would be May,
It's June 12th.
that's June 12th. Yes, so your trial week is the week of June 12th.
Okay. Got it.
All right, so you are good to go. You've been noticed, we've communicated, you've already waived your arraignment, so we're all clear.
All right. Thank you guys so much. You all have a great day.
Thank you. Good luck in Fulton County.
Likewise.
All right. All right, and then Miss, and then I have an Aretha Cox. Miss Cox, you there?
Yep.
All right, I didn't remember calling your name there. Will we have you somewhere else? How about this? What are you charged with, Miss Cox?
Right, without a registration, I believe.
There you are. Page 6 of this afternoon's calendar, 22 TK 4358. Ms. Cox, what is a good number to reach you if we need you?
It is. Hold on, I got. I'm so sorry. I'm about to give it to you. It's 470-402-4091.
All right, you gave me 470-402-4091. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what are you wanting to do with your case, Ms. Cox?
Um, Conference.
Okay, so you're very early for court. You're not supposed to be here till 1:30, but you're here now.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Are you okay with her? You may tell.
Mr. Shepherd usually handles the virtual, so I'll pass it along to him.
All right, we'll talk to you this morning. The folks who are on the calendar will go first, but they'll call you in just a little bit, talk to you at 470-402-4091, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we'll get you done this morning. You won't have to come back this afternoon.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna let you remove yourself from the video system, but then just sit tight and wait for your phone to ring, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Happy to. All right, now, out in the gallery, if you were here this morning and your name was not called, stand up for me. There's always a couple, it's okay. All right, we're gonna start over here and work our way across. What's your name, nice and loud? All right, and what are you charged with, sir? Yep, this afternoon's counted. Okay, you're also very early for court. Your case is 22 TK 4987, but you're here now. And we'll go ahead and address your case this morning if that's what you would like. All right, what do you want to do with your case? All right, are you gonna want to talk to the public defender's office? All right, are you waiving the right to apply? Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and arraign you not guilty, have you wait out in the hallway. You do not need to return this afternoon on your regularly scheduled court time.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, what's your name? What? I'm sorry, that was Kaiser Andrews, 22 TK 4987. All right. David, oh, that was your attorney there. You have your court date in May. We can print a copy for you if you'd like, and give it to you. Your case is well in hand. So, if you'll step out in the hallway and wait for the bailiffs, they'll come and give you a copy of the reset notice, and your attorney has your case covered. So, all right, that was Joshua Davis. All right, what's your name?
Rodriguez Brewer.
Brewer. What are you charged with? There you are. Rodriguez Brewer? Okay. Looks like there's a Amber Alert. 23 TK 0258, no insurance. You're very early for court. You're not supposed to be here till this afternoon, but you're here now. What do you want to do? Conference? Okay. Sit tight. You will go last, but you'll still go before the other 130 people, so it's a balance. All right, grab a seat. They'll talk to you just a little bit. Anybody else? All right, everybody else has had their name called? All right, Ms. Parker, the announcements are yours as far as conferences.
Okay, if you've asked for a conference, Ms. Middleton right here will call you back in a few minutes. Don't leave. If you're not here when she calls your name, you'll go to the bottom of the pile. Thank you.
All right, so how this is gonna work next is, now that Mr. Parker is going out, they're gonna be doing two sets of conferences at the same time, which means they're gonna be going twice as fast. This next phase also goes a lot better when I get out of the way. I'm gonna do Mr. Bainham's plea first. But if anyone at this point needs to step to the restroom, I've kept you in here for about an hour, you may silently step to the restroom, but don't be gone longer than it takes to do that and get back to your seat. Ms. Middleton, if she calls your name once and you don't answer, you go to the bottom of the pile. The second time she calls your name, I just issue a warrant, because once I've locked you up, I know where you are. The fact that I have to give that instruction tells you it's a major issue with folks just wandering off to get their oil changed or a haircut. I don't know. I don't know what people do, but they certainly don't come back when they go out that door. Don't volunteer to get locked up for not coming back. I've already had to do that. I've already chewed somebody out pretty hard yesterday and almost locked him up, so don't do that. All right, Ms. Middleton, do you want to call the round?
Yes.
And then I'll do Mr. Bainham's. Fine.
Okay, thank you. All right, can I please see, out that door, I'll meet you in the hallway. Ian Corbin, Elijah Denham, Chelsea Evans, Tyrese
All right, everybody, let's come back to order. All right, you are Travis Allen?
Yes, sir.
All right, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, I don't know who's talking out in the gallery, but knock it off. All right, Mr. Allen, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I think you were out in the hallway with Mr. Bainham while I was going over the rights, is that correct?
We came in the middle.
That's fine, I'll just put it before you. I'm holding up this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
You can grab that mic and move it. Yeah, just, it'll move all around. It's a boom mic for tall folks like you and short folks like me. So, are these your initials here on page 2?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's much better. And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and to ask your attorney any questions you have about it?
Yes.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Mr. Allen, have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorney about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job he's done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do? You want to close this case with this plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Allen, do you have any other questions for me about this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver or anything else before I pivot to your attorney with my next set of questions?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Bainham, do you stipulate that there's a sufficient factual basis as to count 1 for me to accept the NOLO on this suspended license charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you stipulate additionally on count 2 that there's enough for me to accept the guilty plea on the open container?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Allen, do you wish to enter a NOLO plea on the suspended license charge?
Yes, sir.
All right. And count 2, do you wish to enter a guilty plea on the open container?
Yes, sir.
All right. And as far as the suspended license goes, I understand there's a question about the NOLO. Mr. Bainham brought that to my attention before the plea. What I simply said was that I'm going to grant it here in the courtroom because whenever it's a close call, I go ahead and grant it. DDS, if it's turned out that you did use that other NOLO that you were thinking about, the DDS will just simply bring this one in as a guilty plea. It's a seamless process, and we don't have to come back and see me again. So I'm just gonna hedge on your behalf on that. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you try. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights, entering your plea. I'm going to follow the recommendation that Mr. Bainham has negotiated. Mr. Bainham, anything you wish to add before I sentence?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Allen, any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right, here we go. Travis Allen, 22 SR 2390, count 1, suspended license. The NOLO is granted with the explanation that if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. 12 months probation, $742.50 is your fine. Count 2, open container, guilty, fine only, $200. Counts 3 and 4 dismissed. That's 12 months. Your case will terminate the moment you satisfied your obligations to the court. Can you get your Georgia driver's license back?
Trying to work on that, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. All right, so no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. I'll waive the license requirement. And you have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about, do you remember reading about habeas on the right sheet right there where I'm pointing?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's that weird old law where you sue Spalding County over in Superior Court if you want to challenge this. All right, anything else, Mr. Bannon?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any questions, Mr. Allen?
No, sir.
All right, you may go with Mr. Beckham out those double doors. Mr. Bannon, I think that's your last case, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good to see you.
Thank
you very much. All right, Ballesteros? Come on up. Jose Ballesteros? Okay, I just had that I was supposed to send him downstairs. All right, Ms. Jackson, virtual. Ms. Jackson, you there? I sent you an unmute request.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Ms. Jackson, I am resetting your case for trial. Your next court date will be on May 23rd, 2023 at 9 a.m. That's your calendar call. And then if you do not resolve your case on calendar call, your jury trial or bench trial will be the week of June 12th, 2023, each day at 9 a.m.
Okay, will I be able to attend it virtually? Because I don't live in the state of Georgia.
I will, because this has worked out so well so far, I will go ahead and approve you to attend your calendar call virtual. I'm gonna make a note of that your calendar call is virtual. However, the Supreme Court of Georgia recently changed the rules, and if you want a trial, I'm not allowed to do that virtually. And so if you need to have a trial the week of June 12th, you will have to attend in person. And again, that's the Supreme Court just changed the rules. And well, I would say they clarified the rules. And I'm not allowed to have a virtual bench trial or jury trial. Okay? So, but I've already made a note on the calendar that May 23rd, 2023 is virtual and I've approved it. But the trial week is in person only.
Okay,
All right, Ms. Jackson, I'm going to mark that if the court needs to reach out to you, we'll do so at 954-330-2782. Is that correct?
that's correct.
Ms. Jackson, do you understand that this is the only notice you will receive? There's nothing coming in the mail after this moment.
Okay, hold on, let me write this down. You said it was May 23rd
That's correct.
at 9 a.m.
That's correct. And you can confirm these dates on spaldingcounty.com. Go to the state court page once the clerk enters them, probably later on today.
Okay, do I use the same link that I used this time to attend the virtual?
Yes, that's correct. So,
Okay,
and do you understand that if you miss your court date, I will issue a warrant for your arrest?
yes,
Okay. And you understand you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
yes.
And if you wish to have the public defender's office, you need to take prompt action to get them to represent you or hire your own.
Okay,
All right.
yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me, Ms. Jackson?
The only question is, do you provide that information or do I get an attorney from the state of Florida?
No, if you go to the state court page, you'll find a link to the Spalding County Public Defender's Office.
Okay,
And you can reach out to them and see if you qualify.
okay,
And of course, you can hire your own attorney around here. But no, you just go to the state court page. From there, you can check the court dates. You can find a link to the public defender's office. You can pretty much find a link for whatever you need related to this case.
okay, but I won't receive any other correspondence as far as any mail or email or anything regarding my upcoming court date?
No, none. I've just given it to you, and that's the way we do it now, so I don't have to send a follow-up.
Okay,
That's a reasonable question. Any other questions, ma'am?
no, do I still stay on the virtual call?
Nope, you and I are finished for today. I'll see you on May 23rd. If you do get an attorney and they work it out beforehand, they'll give you additional instructions.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for all your help.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
Have a good one. Bye.
All right, that was Ms. Jackson. All right, and then quick announcements. I think if I do like 2 more things. All right, I need Robert Adams to step forward. I'm going to take care of that one too. And while Adams is walking up, Bernie is a null cross. Well, no, he is null cross. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. Ellis is a null cross. No, Kamiko Biles. All right, I have 3 things up here. They all stick in this one. Biles is a null cross. You Robert Adams?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Adams missed right there. All right. Yeah, everything else looks good. There's files, numbers. Robert Adams, if you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Robert Harvey Adams.
All right, and Mr. Adams, you're here today on 22 TK 3952. According to my calendar and my memory, you are on time for court today. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Did you have the rights right out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
I did.
Did you understand those rights?
I did.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir. They were self-explanatory.
Thank you for that. I am holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
I do.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
I do.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
They are.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
It is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
I did.
And because you understood that everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver?
No, sir.
Mr. Adams, you are charged with one count of speeding, 80 and a 55. And so did you, here in Spalding County on September 12th of 2022, operate a motor vehicle 80 and a 55 here in Spalding County?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I review the recommendation and I will follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Adams, follow me to the end. On 22 TK 3952, Robert Adams, on the speeding 80 and a 55, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $590 is your fine. Now, if you end up with probation, you will show your valid license to probation within 9 months. You will be tested, you will not have illegal drugs, hemp products, or alcohol, and you'll be tested for all three. You will submit to any search by law enforcement, and you'll pay a $50 per month supervision fee until your case is closed, and your probation will be terminated upon completion. You may avoid those special conditions of probation, however, by paying your fine in full within the next 15 days, plus a $20 program fee. And if you do that successfully with $610, then your case will close without those probation conditions. Do you understand that?
I do.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you want to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about habeas earlier?
I do.
You remember reading about it right there on the back of the right sheet that I'm pointing at?
I do. I have no intentions to execute it.
Okay. And can I answer any questions for you, Mr. Adams, before you and I part ways?
Just to confirm, I'm doing the 15 for 20?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's clearly on there, and I hope it works out for you.
I completely agree as well. Thank you.
Well, if you'll step out through those double doors there, it also works out. Ballesteros? No? All right, that's it. Go ahead, read. All right, it's 10:18. I'm gonna step off the bench until 10:45. And 10:45, we'll be back on the bench. On break, obviously step to the restroom, we're all human, but don't go too far because the bailiff of the solicitor's office is gonna be calling folks out a lot faster. If you have any questions, feel free to ask the bailiffs. They're very good at what they do. And you all may turn your phones back on if you didn't get a chance to finish pulling up your driver's history. We're in recess till 10:45. Ballesteros. All right. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right.
All right.
Take your hand down. What's your name?
Jose Baista.
All right. And Mr. Ballesteros, I understand you completed a defensive driving course.
Yes, sir.
Do you have that with you?
Yes, sir.
May I see it, please?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay. Great. Great job. It's a NHTSA approved certificate of completion. Okay, let me confirm that. And my understanding is you want to pay your citation, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, you need to slow down.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
So the way this is gonna work is this is put you on the knife edge of losing your license. Whether or not you lose your license from this point forward is up to you.
Yes, sir.
If you do what you're supposed to do, and you do not get any other charges, then you will not lose your license.
Yes, sir.
But if you catch any new driving offenses, you will lose your license.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, because I bet you have somebody who loves you dearly who doesn't want to call that you are dead in a massive car wreck.
Yes,
And
sir.
this speed certainly has that ability to cause that.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right, well, you certainly impressed the solicitor's office. They said that you came in prepared, you have all your paperwork ready. And I'm seeing what they're saying, and I'm thinking you have a bright future, so do not cut it short driving like this anymore,
Yes,
okay?
sir. Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, you and I do not need to do the play. One of the bailiffs is gonna walk you down. We'll let the clerk take a look at it, make certain we don't need to make any changes. Oh, you have that?
All right.
I thought you wanted to show me your certificate of completion.
Yeah, this is some of it.
Oh, you have excellent handwriting.
Thank you.
I wish I had handwriting like that. Nice. And more importantly, you handwrote it, so I know you didn't use that thing that's all over the news these days about, that writes your papers for you.
Yes, sir.
Or if you did, you copied it really well, so. So either way, I'm very impressed. So, I tell you what, I'll file these with the clerk. And that way we can send a copy over to the officer.
Okay.
So, good job.
Thank you.
Good job on that. So, all right, I've got this. I'm gonna actually give it to Mark and Phil will give that. I think they changed the speed, so I think you might need to change the speed in the system. The clerk is gonna need to change the speed up here, and then they're gonna walk you downstairs to make the payment, okay?
Yes, sir.
If you'll wait out in the hallway or over there.
Okay, thank you.
We're good to go. You got a bright future, young man. Slow down.
His parents with him, Judge.
All right. You all good?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, that was Ballesteros. Bernie, come on up. All right, you're Terrence Bernie.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Bernie, will you please raise your right hand for me?
Yes, sir.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Terrence Michael Jermaine Bernie.
All right, and Mr. Bernie, you are here today on 23 TK 0132. According to my calendar, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No, sir.
Mr. Bernie, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, thank you.
Page 2?
Yes.
Is this your signature?
Yes, it is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
or because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Mr. Bernie, you have the right to have an attorney represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me about your rights or anything else before we pivot to the facts of your case?
No, sir.
Mr. Bernie, you're asking me for a NOLO, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
And have you used a NOLO on a moving violation in the last 5 years? All right. And you want me to use it, you want to use your NOLO today
Yes,
for
sir.
driving that occurred here in Spalding County on Christmas Day and resulted in this charge of speeding 98 and 70?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then I'm gonna find that your request for a NOLO is proper and I'm gonna grant it.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I'll review the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
Do you have the fine amount in full today?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's what I saw as well. All right, the sentence of the court then is as follows. On 23 TK 0132, count 1, speeding 98 and 70. I'm granting your NOLO. The fine is $735. You have those funds today, therefore I'll allow you to pay it.
All right, thank you.
And is the address on your license correct?
I'm actually updating when I get home. I just sold my home.
Okay. All right, so you're moving to,
The 11680 Hucklewood Court. That's the one I'm at now.
okay.
Yeah, my license is my previous one. So,
All right, that sounds good. You're actually out of state.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, we'll have a safe drive back.
thank you. I will.
And the bailiffs will walk you down. They'll need to enter it, the clerk will enter it in the system, and then the bailiffs will walk you down in just a minute. So if you'll just have a seat in the gallery, they'll get you in a second.
Yeah, one other thing, I can vote on.
All right, finished, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you'll please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Tyree Jamal Fennison.
All right, and Mr. Minister, we're gonna go off record, because if I slow Ms. Middleton down, everything stops.
Thank you. Can I please see the following people through those double doors? DeMarcus Wright, Rodriguez Brewer, Virgil Lewis, Andrea Sanchez, Bridget Trice, and Darian Williams. And that should be it.
All right, is there anybody else out here, other than, if you were late, raise your hand.
You know, we're gonna
Well,
do.
that's the late folks.
Yes.
Anybody else waiting on their conference, waiting to have a conference with the solicitor's office? Okay,
Good.
we've learned the hard way to ask that question at this moment.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Minister, state your full name for me again.
Tyree Jamal Fennison.
All right, Mr. Minister, you, according to my calendar, were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you, Mr. Minister, about those rights?
No, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions, Mr. Fenster, that I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do on this case?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have a jury trial, and do you understand that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Finister, you, you are charged with on November 27th of 2022 that you did operate your motor vehicle here in Spalding County at a speed of 71 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
And then you're asking me for a NOLO plea. Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
And have you used a NOLO in the last 5 years under no insurance charge?
No, sir.
All right. And you want me to allow you to use your NOLO on that charge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt as to count 1, the speeding, combined with your request for a NOLO on count 2, the no insurance. So there's enough for me to take the plea. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights to entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it as negotiated. Any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Harry Spencer, 22 TK 5260, count 1, speeding, 71 and a 55. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months, probation, 155 is your fine. Count 2, no insurance. I'm granting your NOLO. It's 12 months probation, 445 is your fine. That's a total of 12 months probation. You are to show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver for search and seizures, $50 per month supervision fee. And that's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about habeas earlier?
Yes, sir.
It's that weird old law where you sue Spalding County to challenge this conviction. Do you remember reading about that on the back of the right sheet, right there where I'm pointing?
Yes, sir.
All right, are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, and I'm going to pass you off to Mr. Richards. He's gonna walk out those double doors back there and have you go meet with probation.
I'll meet you in the hallway.
Good luck to you. Lawson? Well, Lawson's coming up. I'm gonna note that Nicholas Norton is a Malpos. Norton is on page 10. All right, sign that. Thank you. All right, you are Danielle Lawson.
Yes, sir.
All right, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Danielle Hope Lawson.
Ms. Lawson, you're here on, that's right, you have 2 cases. All right, you're here on 2 cases. You're here on 20 TK 2871, as well as 21 TK 4626. Ms. Lawson, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No, sir.
Ms. Lawson, you have passed up to me. Okay, you did 2 right sheets. That'll work. You've passed up to me 2 identical copies of the right sheets. I'm holding them both up. 20 TK 2871 and 21 TK 2646. I'm sorry, 4626. Did you have all the time that you needed to review these documents?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand everything that's on them?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials here next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, they are.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
It is.
That'll work. Both of them are properly completed. Did you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you? And
Yes, sir.
you're here representing yourself?
I am.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Lawson, do you have any other questions for me about your rights or these forms or anything else before we pivot to the facts of your two cases?
I do not.
Okay. Ms. Lawson, on 21 TK 26, are these running together at the same time or one after the other? Do you know?
One after the other. They were two separate.
Okay. It was just a confusing note. That's fine. I'll make this one. They both terminate. All right, well then we're going to start with the no insurance case. Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO in the last 5 years on a no insurance charge?
No, sir.
Are you wanting to use your NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on September 1st of 2020 and resulted in this charge of operating a motor vehicle with no insurance?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm going, and let's actually go ahead and handle the facts on 21 TK 4626, which is stop sign violation. Is that a guilty plea or a NOLO plea?
It's guilty.
And did you here in Spalding County on December 12th of 2021 operate your motor vehicle and fail to properly stop at a stop sign at McIntosh in Old Atlanta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find with your request for the NOLO on 20 TK 2871 combined with your admission of guilt on 21 TK 4626 that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that your NOLO is proper and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to I review the recommendation across both cases and I will follow them. I'm also, that's it. Do you have any other questions for me about anything before I sentence on these two cases?
No, sir.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Danielle Lawson on 20 TK 2871, count 1, no insurance. I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation or $19.50 is your fine. That's a total of 12 months of probation. You may work off your fine with community service work, and there will be a $50 per month supervision fee. No alcohol, illegal drugs, hemp products should be tested for those. In this case, will terminate the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. All right, that closes out 2871. Go ahead. All right, on your second case, 21 TK 4626, stop sign violation, we'll find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $156.50 is your fine. This case runs consecutive, so it's 20 to 20 TK 2871. So it's technically 24 months, but these are both terminated upon completion, so you're only going to be on probation as long as it takes you to get these two cases closed. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember talking about habeas earlier?
Yes, I do.
And you remember reading about it on the back of the right sheet? This one's 21 TK 4626, right there.
Yes, sir.
All right, any other questions for me, ma'am, before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm going to pass you off to Mr. Taylor here, who is going to walk you out and have you meet with probation.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, ma'am. You're going to head back that way to those double doors.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, the next NALPROS is 2 pages, Fireman, initials ID. Middle of page 10. That one. So. Okay. Let's just go and finish up with these. Miss Cox, our virtual case, is in office. So she's, if I remember right, she's on the afternoon calendar. Ray Bourne, Malcross. Page 11, this morning's calendar. Got it. Margaret Taylor, page 13. It's anonymous. All right, well, I'm finishing up this last one. I need Margaret Scott to step forward. All right, and then the last one I'll cross is Misty. Page 15.
What's your name? Roderick Scott. Which Scott did you call?
Roderick Scott.
Okay,
He was just gonna sign that for me.
I'll get you a copy. See what? Yeah, she copy.
Oh, okay. All right, that's, and then the last one I'll cross was Misty Wilson.
Yeah, she told me she wanted a copy.
Yeah. All right, is anybody else here waiting on a copy of their dismissal? All right, just Ms. Taylor.
I got it back in the wall.
Oh, what's your name, sir?
Robert Lee. Robert E. Lee. Robert E. Lee.
Okay, I don't know that I've signed that one yet. You're waiting on a dismissal?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have it, but I'll see.
Young ladies have it. Y'all got it?
Okay, we'll keep an eye out for it. It just hasn't made it here yet. Mr. Scott, if you will please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Mr. Scott, you were here on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No, sir.
You passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes.
Page 2?
Yes.
Is this your signature?
Yes.
And do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Correct.
Mr. Scott, you have did you see on here that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
You are 21 years of age or older,
Yes.
and have you used a NOLO on a moving violation in the last 5 years? And are you asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on December 29th of 2022 and resulted in this charge of failure to yield while turning left with an accident?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper and granted. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
Am I correct in understanding that you have the fine amount in full today?
Yes.
All right, so the sentence of the court then is as follows. On 23 TK 0125, Roderick Scott, on failure to yield while turning left with an accident, your NOLO is granted. The fine is $155 even, and that's the sentence of the court. You have the fine in full, so therefore I will not be placing you on probation. I will also be allowing you to make your payment downstairs. Once you have your receipt in hand, you'll be free to go.
Yes.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember reading about habeas on the right sheet right there?
Yes.
And do you remember me talking about it this morning?
Okay.
Anything else I can address for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you'll wait over there by the doors and wait for the bailiff to take you out, the clerk needs to review it to make certain they don't need to make any changes before they send it downstairs.
Thank you.
All right? Say, S-E-A-Y. How do you say your last name? C. I knew I had I knew I had it wrong. Come on now.
They do it all the time.
Well, I'm Thacker, and my whole life I have been called Thatcher, as in Margaret, because she was the prime minister when I was a kid. So, all right. Ms. C, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
All right, Ms. C, if you'll state your full name for me.
Deborah Denise C.
All right, Ms. C, you're here on 23 TK 0127. According to my calendar, you are on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Did you get the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir, I did.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No.
Ms. C, you've given me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
I do.
And do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
I do.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
They are.
Page 2?
Yes.
Is that your signature?
Yes, it is.
Did you sign and initial this document
I did, sir.
after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
I don't, sir.
All right, you have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, I am.
All right, you have the right to a jury trial, and by entering this plea, there's not going to be a trial. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, are there any questions I can answer for you before I pivot to the facts of your case?
I don't, sir.
Ms. C, you're charged with one count of speeding, 69 and 55, and that you did here in Spalding County on December 21st of 2022, operating motor vehicle at 69 and 55. Did you do that?
The officer said I did, sir.
Okay.
Not sure, but.
I can do a no-load plea if you want.
Oh, well, I'm good. I'll go ahead and pay it. They'll get it out the way.
All right, well, then I'll just do this as a best interest plea.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so, I'm gonna find that you've requested that I take this plea, is that correct?
Yes.
And that you believe it is in your best interest to close out this case with these terms?
I did, sir.
All right, well, that's what I'm gonna do then. And follow me through to the end of my sentence. Here we go. I'm gonna find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights, entering this plea. Review the recommendation and I'll follow it. Speeding, 69 and 55, guilty, 12 months probation, best interest plea, 155 is your fine. Now, if you end up on probation, you'll need to provide your valid license to probation, have no illegal drugs, hemp products, or alcohol, and submit to testing for those. Fourth Amendment waiver for searches and seizures, and a $50 per month supervision fee. This would be terminated upon completion probation. Now, you may avoid those special conditions of probation by paying your fine in full within the next 15 days, plus a $20 program participation fee, i.e. our 15 by 20 program. So do you understand that if you pay off your fine in full, plus a $20 program fee, you won't have to do all those things I just said?
I do, sir.
All right, that's the way we set it up. So that's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you want to use your habeas rights. Do you remember reading about habeas right there on the back of the right sheet?
Yes, sir.
And you remember me talking about it earlier?
I did, sir.
Just see, can I answer any other questions for you before
No,
you
sir.
and I part ways?
No.
All right. Well, thank you very much. If you'll step out those double doors with Mr. Taylor, and he'll get you back there to meet with Chris.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Williamson? Williamson, I think that was the last case I have up here ready to go. So, I'll do a roll call here when we finish this one. All right, you are, Ms. Williamson?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Williamson, will you raise your right hand for me? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, state your full name for me.
Latoria Williamson.
All right, Ms. Williamson, you're here on 22 TK 3951. According to my calendar, you are on time for court, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions, Ms. Williamson, I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
You recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Williamson, are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir, it is.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and your case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. Did you, here in Spalding County, on September 6th of 2022, operate your motor vehicle at a speed of 69 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone?
Yes.
All right, and that is a reduced speed. All right, so, Ms. Williamson, I'm going to find with your admission of guilt as to the reduced speed of 69 and 55 that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Williamson, on 22 TK 3951, count 1, speeding, 69 and 55, I'm going to find you guilty. This is 12 months probation, 227.50, and follow me to the end. If you end up with probation, you'll need to show a valid license to probation. You will have no alcohol, illegal drug, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. You'll have a Fourth Amendment waiver, and there'll be a $50 per month supervision fee. I forgot to say count 2 is dismissed either way. And then that probation would terminate upon completion. However, you may avoid those special conditions of probation by paying your fine in full, which is $227.50, plus a $20 program fee for our 15x20 program, and then your case will close without the need of those probation conditions.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you?
No, sir.
Is this all acceptable to you, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. Then I am going to say you have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you want to use your habeas rights. Do you remember talking about habeas earlier?
Yes, sir.
And do you remember reading about it on the back of the right sheet right there?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Then we'll pass you out to Mr. Beckham.
Thank you.
He's going to walk out those double doors. Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Thank you, have a good day.
You too. Brewer? All right, Mr. Brewer, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Marquise Brewer.
All right, and Mr. Brewer, you are here today on 23 TK 0258. Please on there.
Page 3.
There we go. Okay. And according to my calendar, you were on time for court this morning. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No.
Mr. Brewer, you've passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes.
It is your initials next to each of the lines on page 1.
Yes.
Page 2.
Yes.
Is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
I'm saying I got the same so with but I got it with the city too.
Oh, you got one with the city and one with me?
Yeah.
Are they on different times and dates?
Yes.
Oh, that's a tough one. Have you been to court on the other one?
No.
What's your court date on the city case?
I was gonna say the 31st, but I was gonna I gotta call today and see.
Okay. I mean, we've got a no-load plea here. You're welcome to enter this no-load plea. You're welcome to have me reset you for another day, or at least, yeah, because you were on time for court. And I can reset you for another day, to let you go deal with the city. Or you can enter this plea as these terms are, and then take this plea to the city of Griffin and show it to them and have a conference and see if that changes things for you. Is it gonna change things? I don't know. I'm just simply telling you what your options are. I'm not telling you which one to pick. Do you understand that?
Yeah. I can do that. I can do that.
Okay, I gave you several options, so which one is that?
And the number.
Enter the NOLO here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. And also the same, hey, this is also a part to remember. The same probation folks take care of the City of Griffin Municipal Court and the Spalding County State Court. And so you need to tell, when you go out to meet with your probation officer, you need to tell them that you have a case pending with the City of Griffin, because they can help you move between the two courts. Okay? And again, what is the City of Griffin going to do with their case? I have no idea. But those are at least the things they need to be aware of in making their decisions. Does that work for you?
Yes.
All right, you ready to go forward? Here we go. So, do you understand you have the right to an attorney on your case?
Yes.
And you actually have the right to an attorney on both of your cases in both courts.
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on both of your cases in both courts?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial in the Spalding County State Court case. And this case will be closed.
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Mr. Brewer, are you asking me to accept a NOLO for driving that occurred on January 5th of this year here in Spalding County and resulted in this no insurance charge?
Yes.
And you understand that by using it on this case, you can't use it on the Griffin case?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper on the no insurance. I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. Review the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No.
All right, here we go. Rodriguez Brewer on 23 TK 0258, count 1, no insurance. Your NOLO is granted. It's 12 months probation, $445 as your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. It'll be a $50 per month supervision fee. Show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver. In the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court, the case will close. Again, you're going to have copies of these when you leave here today. Take them to court with you when you go to your Griffin Municipal Court case. What good are they going to do you? I don't know, but it can't hurt. Does that help?
All right.
Okay, that's it. You may go with Mr. Taylor out those double doors. All right, here's my community service work, folks. Okay, y'all be taken care of?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I'm just waiting on the phone.
perfect. And do you, are you waiting on anything?
Yes.
You're waiting on me? All right, what's your name?
William Pratt.
Sorry.
William Pratt.
Pratt.
P-R-A-T-T.
All right, Mr. Pratt, let me take a look and see. Here, you can just come up to the podium. Whatever it is we got next, we're gonna need to talk it through. All right, I show that you had a conference with the solicitor's office, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And were you all able to reach an agreement?
Yes, sir.
And does it involve a plea with me?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. And did they give you a rights sheet to fill out?
No.
Might not be. Well, let me just have you have a seat right here at this table and go and fill out the right sheet. If it turns out you don't need one, we'll just shred it. And that'll at least let us move that forward as we're going. All right, we're off record.
I think I'm supposed to get paid fine.
So when you come in May for your calendar call, you need to remind me that you are set, that what you need to do is come back on the 12th to close your case out.
Yes, sir.
So that you'll be 21 when you enter the plea.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right, well then I'm gonna lift your warrant. You need to know that I have no intentions of lifting another warrant. I don't think that's gonna be an issue between you and I, but don't be late again, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this warrant is lifted. If you want the public defender's office, the reset notice you're about to sign has the address. They're closed for lunch right now, but if you want them to represent you, you need to go today after lunch to go see them. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you want the public defender's office?
No, sir.
Okay. Then you're waiving the right to apply?
I do not.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, follow Mr. Taylor's instructions, sign your reset notice, your warrant is lifted, and remind us when you come back in May that you don't turn 21 until the next.
I'll put a sticky on the ticket.
Oh, great, thank you for that. That was Mr. Darian Williams, top of page 50.